Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and I'm here to talk to you about the books that I've read so far in the month of April. That's what month we're in. Weirdly enough, April is over half gone. Veda is going semi-well. It's not 100%, but that's okay. It's been a month. It's been a long, crazy month. We've got some news that was not so great that happened like right at the beginning of the month. And because of that, like I just haven't had the energy and the excitement to like sit in front of a camera and talk to people. Which is a bummer because I had some really good stuff that I wanted to do, but I just don't know. So I think I'm missing like maybe 4 or 5 videos. That's fine. I'm also in a new location. You're probably gonna see this for the next few videos or like you'll probably go back and forth, honestly. I am in Austin for a few days for work. And they put me in this corner room with this really nice lighting. So like I'm gonna take advantage of it. So anyway, let's talk about some books. I have only finished 4 books so far in the month of April. If you remember my TBR, there is a lot of books on said TBR. I should finish 1 more today, possibly 2 more today because the other one is a graphic novel and I'm not sure if I'll finish that one or not. But I'm in the middle of the Avengers boss battle. And so like I have to read for like an hour and a half or something like that. 2 hours. It's over 2 hours. There you go. I need to read for 143 minutes, I think is what it is. Anyway. So let's just talk about some books. I'm not going to do stats. We'll do that at the end of the month. So for right now, we're just going to talk about the books that I've read in the sequential order. So let's get started. The first book that I read in the month of April was Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is a middle grade paranormal horror. I don't know. It's very cute. It's not really scary at all. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I really, really liked it. I love Cassidy and Jacob. They're adorable. I just felt that this one was a little bit too short. We tried to do way more than she did in the previous books. There was a lot going on in this book. And then I feel like it wrapped up so quickly. And it just, because we had to wrap up so quickly, I just don't think we got like as high of stakes as we could have. Unfortunately, it got to the point where I was like, oh, we're already at the resolution of the book. We've already had the big climax. And it didn't feel as high of stakes. Even though I felt like, I mean, the first 2 have the same page count roughly. And I just felt like this one was just so much faster. I don't know, maybe it just, because it's, we're kind of getting up into the series, maybe it needed to be a little bit longer. I don't know. I still really enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun reading it. Plus it was in New Orleans, which I love. And so the world building was great. I just felt like we needed a little bit more, which is why I didn't give 5 stars. But I still loved it. So far this month is going way better than March. If you remember in March, my average rating was under a 3. And so far, the worst books that I've read are 4 stars, which is great. My second 4-star read, and happens to be the next book that I read, was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I've listened to this on audio and that's how I recommend doing it. I really, really loved the audiobook for this. It was fantastic. This was one of my 5-star predictions. So unfortunately it didn't quite hit 5 stars, but still really, really liked it. My only complaint with this book is that there was such a large cast of characters. We followed the 2 sisters, which is what everyone talks about. The 2 sisters that lead very separate lives. One stays in their hometown and the other actually passes as a white woman. And so that's like the story that everyone talks about with the synopsis, but there's so much more. There are like children of those girls, and then like the friends of those children. And then it was a lot of people, and each character had their own perspective. And so you actually were supposed to care about these characters, but because it was less than a 350 page book, we didn't get enough from a lot of them. We didn't get to the character that passes as a white woman until almost the 50% mark, which is the story that I was really interested in. And then I was also very interested in the character of Reese, who, if you've read the book, you know who I'm talking about. But he is the trans character that is the friend and partner of the daughter of one of the daughters. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay. I really, really loved his character and his growth. And I think that's probably the character that I most not most associated with, but most like got attached to. I don't know if his like arc was a little bit better, but I don't know. That's the one that I loved the most. And so it wasn't a bad book, but it wasn't perfect, so that's why I settled on 4 stars. Then I reread The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for the 5th time, I think. It was the 4th or 5th time, I don't know. I read it at least once a year. I love her. I loved it. It was obviously 5 stars. I think it definitely cemented its place in my favorites. And I know that there is criticism for this book. I know that there are people that don't like this book or that don't like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing or her writing style. I'm not one of those people. I love this book, and I'm very ready to start in on Malibu Rising, which is actually one of the characters of, like, it's the family of one of the husbands that, like, has a very brief segment. But still very excited about it. And of course, I gave this book 5 stars. Then finally, I finished The Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis. This is actually a carryover from my March reads, and it just took me that long to finish. However, I really, really liked it. I was just reading like other things for different readathons or different projects or things like that. So I like put it down for a little while, but the second half of that book goes by so quickly and so good. This book was fantastic, especially for a debut novel. It is a dystopian Western about these girls who are basically whores, essentially. I mean, they're called the Good Luck Girls, but they live in brothels. And the Johns, or the Braggs, or what they're called, they come into these houses. And so then it's about these girls that actually escape one of these houses, and it's like their adventure. And it's so good. And I just got approved for the arc of the sequel, which comes out, I think, in August. And I'm here for it. Like, I kind of just want to like start in on it. We're gonna see if it can fit into my May TBR. We'll see. It's weird to say May, as it's a thing that's like already almost here. So yeah, anyway, I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars. The world building was fantastic. I mean, there were parts that didn't make sense, or like some characters, some creatures that were part of the world that I think just kind of got thrown in there and didn't get explained as to what they do or like what exactly they look like. But as far as the like world building, it was phenomenal. I never once felt like there was this white room syndrome. I always knew what was going on around. It in detail describes the mountains and the woods and the things that they're having to like walk through, and the little western towns, and like, I'm here for it. I loved it, and I cannot wait to start the sequel, because the first one kind of wraps up in a way that you could read it as a standalone. You wouldn't have to continue. It has a resolution to it. The second one is just going to build on the next level, which I love. I don't love series that end in cliffhangers. Like, I'm just not here for that. I need a story to resolve itself, especially a first book in a series. A second book, like, okay, I get it, because if it's a trilogy, we're gonna go on to the third book. But the first book needs to stand on its own. That's my tea. And this one did. I loved it. Those are the 4 books that I've read. I'm in the middle of a lot. So I'm in the middle of The Once and Future Witches, which I am listening to on audio again. I should have done it physically, but it's just such a big book, and I have so many books, and there are a few of them that do not have audiobooks. So this one, because it has an audio, it's just had to work with the timing. So hoping to finish that one up pretty soon. I think I have about 4 hours left of the audiobook of that one. Really, really loving it. The prose of this book is beautiful. I'm here for it. I'm here for like a lyrical prose, experience. Then I'm also in the middle of Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I just started that one. I'm on like page 50 or something like that. But because of the boss battle, you had to start a book like at the beginning of the boss battle. Because I was in the middle of that one, I had to kind of put it down and start another one. So there's that. And then finally, I'm in the middle of the Midnight Library. This is the book that I'm reading for the boss battle, which is over by the time you're reading, watching this, or will be over. I don't know. If I can, I'll link it up. I'll link my vlog up, but I think this one might be going up first. Anyways, I have about 80 pages left of this book. I will finish it here this evening. And then that's it. I've got 2 books ready and like ready to start. Let me know down in the comments below what you are currently reading, and if you are not feeling chatty, put a star down below, because A, I've had a really good reading month and I've given out a lot of stars, and B, I'm in Texas, which is the Lone Star State. Okay, cool. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Makes this heart beat faster.